Hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Computer Doctor Show, formerly the Technology Frustration Show. We also wanted to welcome you to our new format. We're going to be mobile, and we're going to have some awesome guests on the show, still bringing you the latest and greatest tech news for life and business. This is episode 3 of season 2 of Privacy, Security, and Protecting Your Identity Online and Off. I'm Aaron Moss, your host. And now we're going to go to our on-site interview with a very special guest. So here we are at a local restaurant here in Tucson.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Computer Doctor Show, formerly the Technology Frustration and Gimmick Show. We also wanted to welcome you to our new format. We're going to be mobile, we're going to be having guests, and we're going to also be bringing you the latest in technology news. This is episode 3 of season 2 of our Privacy and Security and Protecting Your Identity Online and Off. And I'm Aaron Moss, your host. At this time, I want to introduce our very special guest, Leti Ortiz. She is the host of No Estra con Leti. It's a TV show. Thank you very much for being here today with us, and also doing the show in English.
Oh.
Thank you so much for doing it.
Yeah, this is my first time I'm going to do it in English, something here like a interview or stuff like that. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about this restaurant that we're in. It's formerly the old Club 21 on Miracle Mile and Oracle. Tell us a little bit about this restaurant.
El Chinito Gordo is about a month ago. 4 owners. They opened this nice Mexican restaurant, different every single Mexican restaurant in Tucson. They have this different everything. The food is delicious. It's from different states of Mexico. So
different states of Mexico.
Yeah, so it's from Jalisco and from different areas in Mexico. So it's a really good and different type of food. You find here excellent service. Their owners. Her name is Blanca. I love her. So please come and taste this food here in El Chinito Gordo, and thank you for inviting us, and thank you for being here.
All right, thank you. So come on down to the restaurant and support our local businesses. As mentioned before, this is episode 3 of our second season, all about identity protection. So let's go over 4 ways that you can protect your identity. And Leticia is going to... Leti.
Yes.
I didn't call you
Leticia.
Leti.
Yes.
Leti's going to be responding to these things that we're going to be talking about.
Okay.
Because some of these are a little bit scary.
Yes.
That is to... Here's...
Here.
our lunch.
That's
Here
so
it is.
delicious. See, we told you this is a different type of Mexican food, and it's really
we're going to put
delicious.
some pictures of this.
Yes.
Actually. So here's our lunch here. I'm going to be eating and talking, and hopefully I won't choke to death, but Leti's here. I'm in good hands.
Yes.
All right. So here we go with way number, this was way number 21, and that is to look at your bank statements.
Wow.
So when we're looking at our bank statements, why do you think we should look at our bank statements, at least on a regular basis? What do you think?
I always do to check my when I pay my debit card, right? So I always check if they charge the amount,
the correct
amount. So, but I never thought that somebody can
get into your account and maybe start. Usually, sometimes they'll start with very, very small amounts, 50 cents, 99 cents. And then over time, you'll start $1. Now, it may not seem like a whole lot of money, but remember, they can potentially be doing this to maybe hundreds, even thousands of people. And that adds up, okay? So make sure that you're keeping an eye on those things, because things can creep up on you. Also, in this day and age, nobody really has time to look at, the long contract, right?
Yes.
The long contracts, you're online and you click accept terms. There are some terms that in there that you may not have to start paying something for like a lot later. So you want to make sure that you're doing things. Number one, you know what you're agreeing to, and you know what you when it's going to be coming out, and also how to cancel. Because some of these services, they're very, very easy to sign up for or to enroll in, but they're extremely difficult to cancel. So make sure you know how to cancel on these things. How's that sound?
You know what? A bad experience I had before, maybe a couple years ago, and you're right. I was like checking my bank, and I was like, wait a minute, where did these come from? Gas stations from another states and restaurants that I never know that. I was like, I never go to this restaurant. What's going on? So I went to my bank and I say, something's happened with my checking account, and they find out somebody stole my
identity. Part of
Mi identidad en español.
Okay. Now,
it's that.
But you see, what they do is they do all kinds of little things to get your information, and then they start using it. Yeah. Sometimes they wait a few months before they actually start doing this. So although the charges may have started like maybe this month, they may have grabbed your information maybe 6 months ago. Whoa. And only now we're starting to use it. So even if you weren't in any questionable places recently, always make a habit of looking at your statements. That goes for credit card statements, bank statements, any account that you're using to pay out. So you always want to be very, very careful with those.
Okay.
Here we are.
Great information.
Okay. Here goes way number 22, and that is to don't volunteer information on incoming phone calls. So the reason why you don't want to do that is because you can never really fully verify who people are. There is all kinds of technology where someone can mask what phone number they're calling from. Your caller ID. There are programs that are not that hard to get that can change the phone number that I might look like I'm calling from. I can make it look like your sister, your brother, your mother, your cousin, your uncle, or I can make it look like your bank. I can make it look like your investment firm. I could make it look like anybody that I want if I do a little bit of research of the phone numbers, right? So I can call you pretending to be somebody else, and I can tell you that your account was hacked, and I said, we need your verification number. Can we send you something in a text message? And before you know it, you're talking to this scammer.
Whoa.
You are actually helping them to hack you.
Wow.
We call this social hacking. This is when your devices are actually pretty secure nowadays, but the weakest link is the person. So we need this education so that we can know not to do these things. The way that you were hacked, okay? Someone maybe have sent you an email or maybe called you pretending to be somebody else. So when someone calls you, don't assume that they know that you know exactly who they are. That could not be your real bank, or that could be not really your mother, your brother, or your cousin, or your uncle. This place is great. They keep checking up on us.
Thank you so much. Yeah, everything is delicious. Thank you, Siri.
So we want to make sure that we're always doing things. That we're always making sure that we don't divulge information on incoming calls. Now, how do we get around that? If somebody calls you and they're asking you for personal information, what can you do? What could you do?
You know what? I really have a lot of phone calls, and you're right. I thought it was my friend because it was her phone number, and I answered the phone, my cell phone, and then they start talking about this is this company, and somebody's getting in your account. Can you please? And I say, you know what? I hang up. I don't say anything, And then right away I put black in the, how do you say black?
You block the app or your account?
Yeah.
On your credit card?
And I block also that phone call.
Okay.
And that way I don't receive that phone call anymore.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a good thing to do.
So so Letty brings up a good point. So if you do get a phone call, does it, and more than likely this person has already fudged their caller ID, it is of no use to you to block the phone number because they can just use another phone number and still get to you just easily. Yes. And you can't block all of your phone calls, obviously. You need to keep in contact.
Yes.
So this is the way around it. You tell the person on the phone, you called me at a bad time. Say this with me. You called me at a bad time. Okay? Can I call you back?
That's a great idea.
Can I call you back? Okay? And then you hang up the phone with them. Then you call your real bank, your real credit card company, and ask them if everything with your account is okay. If they say everything is fine, then you know that other call was just a prank phone call. Okay. And you do that every single time. And if they continue to see that you're doing the same thing over and over again, they're just going to move on to another easier target. Okay? So again, never, ever divulge personal information on an incoming phone call, okay? Because those incoming phone calls can so easily be fudged nowadays. Okay. Of your activity, and it also shuts down the saving of cookies, so that when you leave that computer and somebody else uses the computer, they can't go back into the history and look at what you've done. Or even re-log back into something that you've logged into. This happens a lot in maybe hotel lobbies or at the library, and all of these public use type computers, they do have some sort of security on them, but at the same time, you also have to have your own level of security. So does the average person actually know what privacy incognito mode is? So on a browser, okay, we know what a browser is, right? So you're on a computer, you open up Chrome. Chrome is a browser. Firefox is a browser. Internet Edge, Internet Explorer are other browsers. I don't really recommend those. But those browsers, they have a button, incognito, so you can shut off all of the saving of the activity. And that's good because someone can't come back to that computer and do that. And use that. Right. Because what would happen if you looked at if you were checking your email, you closed the window and you walked away from the computer. I could go back up, reopen that window, and start looking at your email. Now, that may not seem too bad. Well, I mean, can I really steal our identity just by looking at her email? Well, there's a way. Okay, I could find out what bank she banks with, and then I click the button that says, I forgot my password, send me an email. And now, since I'm already in her email account, now I can see that email, and I can change her password to her bank to something that I want, and now I can log into her bank account and write myself a check.
Wow.
You see? And then
I never thought of something that can happen like that.
All because they didn't use that privacy mode setting. Okay? And there's lots of YouTube videos out there about how to use incognito mode. So make sure if you haven't been doing that, make sure that you're doing it.
I will.
Make sure you spread that to other people.
Yes.
This is way number 24. Way number 24 is to use a desktop instead of a laptop. Now, the reason why this is something that can protect you is because it's a lot harder to steal a desktop than a laptop. Okay? If somebody breaks into your house, okay, for example, they're gonna take laptops. They're not gonna take a desktop. The desktop is gonna stay. If there's ever a point in your life where if you have the choice of doing personal banking or things on a laptop versus a desktop, always choose the desktop, okay? Because if anything is saved, and they're always trying to find different ways to recoup information or trying to piece together information to hack a person, they're always going to go with the easiest target. and the easiest target would be something portable.
Oh yeah, easy to
easy to pick up, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a desktop that's buried kind of like under the desk someplace, right?
Yeah.
Okay, people don't want that. It's not quick. It's not quick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How many? Do you have a laptop at home?
Yeah.
Do you have a desktop at home?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna start trying to move things more to the desktop. I know it's ugly and it's bigger, and a lot of people.
Everything is in a laptop or a desktop or something.
So sometimes, sometimes security has to be sacrificed with convenience or even mobility. Okay.
Yes.
Now, a lot of these mobile things, they are getting a lot smaller and more security, but you still need to know what is secure for you. So try to use a desktop more than a laptop, right? All right. In this segment of the Computer Doctor Show, we're going to talk about some things affecting us in the technology news space. And this tip can actually save your life. If you've ever become unconscious, or you're like in a car accident and you need to be gotten to the hospital, one of the most important pieces of information, one of the important things that happen at that instant is emergency workers or bystanders need information. They need to know who you are. They need to maybe know what your medical history is, emergency contact information, any medications, any allergies, because at the hospital, they may give you medicine that you're allergic to and then make a bad situation worse. So, if you have an iPhone, now you have an iPhone, right?
I have my iPhone.
So there is actually a setting inside. Now, I'm going to see if you have it. Now, okay, we're going to close this and lock it.
Okay.
No, leave it locked.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm gonna click here. Now, my fingerprint is not mentioned here, but if I do if I click emergency call, okay, so yours is not registered. So,
okay.
But if you had yours is registered. I'm going to show you after the show. I'm going to show you how to register.
Okay, great.
But go ahead and unlock your phone.
Okay.
And you can follow along with this if you have an iPhone at home. Now there's an app on here called Health. It's a white box, Health, right there. A lot of people forget that it's there.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you hit next, you can hit Don't Turn On. You can actually set up a profile. You can put in your date of birth, your height, your weight. You can put your weight in another time. Okay. But after you fill that information in, it allows you to put in a section for what medications, allergies, medical history, and emergency contact phone number. And if you're unconscious and someone has access to your phone, they can actually grab your phone if they're trying to help you, hit the emergency button on your phone, which is another button that's not there because you haven't finished this.
Yeah.
You can push that emergency button, and then they can see your emergency contact person, your allergies, and basic information. Not enough to steal your identity, but basic information to help you in an emergency. Very, very important.
Wow.
Okay, that tip can save your life. So make sure that you're doing that. Just go into that health section, or if you have any questions about how to do that, I can always walk you through the procedure. Call me at 520-261-5508, Computer Doctor of Tucson. So that information can save your life. Definitely worth doing.
Wow.
The other piece of tech news is Netflix is actually going to be cutting their rates in half. But not for current users, but that's for potential users. But you have to pay the entire year up front, but you can get it for half the price. Now, why is Netflix doing this? Well, Netflix, you have Netflix. Right? So I have Netflix, my wife pays for it, and I enjoy it too. We love all the programming on it. But the thing about it is Netflix was in a space on its own for a while, where that was where most people that wanted to stream, they'd have a Netflix account or Hulu account. But there's so many more other platforms coming into. Disney Plus is one of the next big ones that's coming in. As a matter of fact, I've had some customers they're actually trying to shut down their Netflix account so that they can afford to buy a Disney Plus account. Okay? So now, I don't want to do that yet because I haven't really looked at. Have you seen some of the titles on the Disney Plus channel yet? Supposedly they have all the Star Wars things because Star Wars is owned by Disney, and they have a lot of that extra programming on. So they're removing their contracts with Netflix and they're putting it into Disney Plus, and a lot of the customers are starting to move over there to do. But I don't know. You're going to have to figure out which ones are actually for you and which ones are not, and figure out which platform works best for you, depending on what titles you and your family like to watch. But,
you think the Disney Channel, that one, is for like kids, cartoons, movies, and all that?
You see, Disney has a long history of being family and kid based. Mm-hmm. So it's starting to get out of that space and more into the greater public and the greatest demand type of things. So they're not everything that's on the Disney Plus channel, I believe, is not necessarily produced by Disney, although they have huge influence over the things that do. But there's cartoons on there for the kids, but then there's a lot of programming for adults and families, things that grown-ups like. So there might be programming on Disney Plus that you won't find on Netflix, and that's why Netflix is starting to offer some of these deals, because they want to keep their customers, and these other platforms are coming up, and they're starting to make some real sense to some of these customers. So. Hey, go figure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for listening to this episode of the Computer Doctor Show. Please share this video with friends, family, and colleagues. This show is sponsored by Computer Doctor of Tucson. We do amazing things over the phone with our national phone tech support across the United States. You can call our main phone number again at 520-261-5508 or visit our website at computerdoctortucson.com. Computer Doctor of Tucson, because technology is great when it works. We want to have you stay tuned to our next show. Until then, we will see you next time, and also watch the
Nuestra Hora con Leti
show. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.